Alrighty, so we had to stop rather abruptly to finish part 4 of our Valiant Hearts stream. I do apologize for that. Hopefully we don't have to redo any of those puzzles. It's sort of right at the end of a chapter. We're still in, or right at the end of a section of a chapter, I should say. We are sort of in the middle of chapter 2 right now. It's 1915. This is where sort of our main cast is all together in Anna, Freddy, and Emil. And we've just recently linked up with Carl as well, which means we're getting oh so close to the Von Dorf squad. That being said, we do know that Von Dorf and Anna's father actually escaped the Zeppelin before it crashed. This all happened sort of in part 4, so if you missed that, definitely go and check that out. But right now, at the end of this scene, we are in particular controlling Freddy and Emil with Walt as well, and we're once again trying to regroup with Anna because Walt came after us seeming quite concerned, and he's sort of leading the way to ultimately regroup with Anna. So this is Valiant Hearts, The Great War, and this is Sweetfish Plays.
Destiny brought them together. They had survived the enemy's wrath, their gunfire, bombardments, gas attacks.
So unfortunately, we have to redo a couple of the puzzles here, but I'm just going to rip through them real quick and we'll get right back to where we were. Let's see, item-wise, I held on to everything except this one item that I never found, so maybe we can come across it. But let me just rip through this real quick and we'll get back to where we are. That's kind of a downfall. I would have assumed there would be more saves throughout the scene than that, but that's okay.
Whoa! Whoa! Go now! Whoa! Go! Get out of here! Whoa! Whoa! Get away, boy! Allez, oui! Huh? What? 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 Whoa.
So again, we're just switching back and forth between front of screen and back of screen. Front of screen with Emil, back of screen with Freddy. Walt kind of switching back and forth, and we had to get this dynamite over here so that we can get rid of this blockade for Freddy and he can come around and cut the wire for Emil. Emil cannot be seen by the French troops, obviously, and Freddy can be. He's an American volunteer fighting in the French Corps. Alright, just like the first time I did it,
Hey, whoa!
my first throw is off target. Another just a small thing.
What?
The hint icon in the top left there that keeps flashing every once in a while telling me a hint is available. That gets kind of annoying. That's why I end up looking at them half the time anyways. Like, I understand showing me once, but now it's the third time showing me that a hint is available. It's like, I get it. That's only a small gripe though in the grand scheme of things. Maybe I gotta get a bit closer here. Can't remember exactly how I did it last time. That should do. Hey, there we go.
Whoa, go now. Yeah, Walt. Good boy. Walt, good.
So Walt digs up at the handle.
Hey, Walt.
Give it back to him. He'll go back to Emil's side.
What? Yeah. We both.
It's a lot of back and forth, but we're already almost where we should be. Yeah, this is where we left off last time. It's almost like a boss fight in a sense. So I can't go any further to the right because I'll get chopped up by that rotor spinning. Walt can go underneath though and retrieve the dynamite on the other side. So I think it's just about finding the right place to throw it. Let me try it. Right, that's not going to work because it needs some sort of ignition for it to actually blow up, so just tossing it up there ain't going to do a whole lot. Okay, get some more dynamite there, Walt.
Yes.
Does it have to hit the rotor? Maybe it has to hit the rotor and explode. Nope. Oh, hang on a minute. Okay, so this wheel here is basically going to control the speed of this rotor, these blades. So when I open it up, it blows this flag to the fire up there in the trees, and the material catches fire, and that's somehow I gotta ignite the dynamite. I don't know. And you gotta use the fire to ignite the dynamite and blow up the rotor that's in the way. It's from the Zeppelin that crashed. This is all debris from the Zeppelin, so I don't know. This is where we left off last night, or in the last part though, part 4. So can't get the material burnt any more than that. It comes back this way. Oh, there we go. And by that time, there was 3 sticks of dynamite up there, so kaboom. Alright, let's see what we got here. Should be getting to Anna soon. She was sort of around the main Zeppelin.
Victory had a bittersweet taste for Anna. Carl, seriously wounded, had been sent to a POW camp. Anna's father had disappeared with Baron von Dorf, and Emil was court-martialed for desertion. Cited for his bravery in Reims, Emil was fortunately pardoned and set free to go back to the front.
We better be pardoned.
February 21st, 1916. Winter had descended on the front. After joining back up with the army, Emil and Freddie were stationed near Verdun, suffering like many others from the harsh winter. That morning, the arrival of the mail raised spirits, but Marie's letter did not bring good news. In Saint-Mihiel, food was scarce, disease was rife, and the number of dead was growing. Out of this grim news, however, there was one ray of light. A photo of his grandson, Victor, standing on both feet and learning to walk.
Don't worry.
Sometimes just the notion of family, and oftentimes it might only come in the form of a picture, is enough to give you the inspiration that you need. And I think that was the case for a lot of soldiers in both World War I and World War II, of course. Okay, so we're stationed near Verdun now. Unfortunately, Carl, working for the opposite side, when he was captured while Anna was trying to help him, he was sent to a POW camp, really in critical condition, barely hanging on to life. So, I don't think Marie knows about that, but this is going to be tough going back to her if something happens to him. Thank God Emil was pardoned after being court-martialed for desertion. That seems kind of ridiculous. I mean, it makes sense that they would think that initially, but Emil is a bloody hero, for Christ's sakes. At his age especially. Let's read some of the new letters here. So we have Marie. That was the last letter. Today the Germans invaded Saint-Mihiel. Fortunately, the troops spared the farm. I took shelter in the cellar with Victor. Now what's going to happen? As he grows, Victor reminds me more and more of Karl. Not a day goes by without me thinking of him. The Germans are requisitioning all our crops. There must be food shortages in Germany. I managed to hide some for next winter. I can't wait for this stupid war to end. There's Carl, we already read that one, talking a little bit about Anna's father, von Dorf being obsessed with this scientist. Here is Anna's most recent letter. I think a few of these are actually new here. We'll go back to about here. The situation is horrific. Yesterday I was in my warm, cozy apartment, and now I'm in the depths of hell. There are so many dead, so many young lives lost. I managed to save one soldier this morning, but there are so many others to tend to. Tomorrow I'll try to get closer to the front so I can help those most in need. Another endless day. For every life saved, there are so many lost. Those poor young men, mutilated, disfigured for life. I cannot abandon them, even if all I can do is hold their hands as they slip away. Father has been captured by a German regiment and taken away in a Zeppelin. He who's so scared of heights. They probably know about his research. Please, Father, don't try to be a hero and work. Please don't try to be a hero, work for them. I don't want to lose you. I'm on his trail, and these two soldiers I met are after the Zeppelin as well. I was so frightened when I saw the Zeppelin crash today. Fortunately, Father wasn't on board because the Baron had already taken him away by aircraft. I managed to save Emil's son-in-law. Okay, so she did know who it was. Before they sent him to a POW camp, his legs were in a critical state. I'll be going with him to make sure he's all right. So we've been separated once again from Anna, and now we've moved on to 1916 as well, as we saw them mentioned there in that last cutscene. Freddy, those freaking shells nearly did it for me. There's no way I'm giving up so close to my goal. Apparently their leader is called von Dorf. I'm gonna get him. Everybody else are just pawns in his game to me. How much luck can a guy have? There's this huge cathedral here. Makes me think of you. They sent me back to the army. It's not going to make my search any easier. And then Emil, of course, Carl is alive. I caught sight of him flying a Zeppelin heading south. We're going looking for him again tomorrow with Anna and Freddy. And then I'll never be able to thank Anna enough for saving Carl after the Zeppelin crash, knowing that he's no longer at the front and that he's a POW has put my mind at rest. I guess that makes sense. I'm so relieved he's safe from harm. Imagine thinking, you know, my son-in-law is so much more safe at a POW camp than he is on the front lines. I'm so relieved he's safe from harm. I hope Marie is doing okay in Saint-Mihiel despite the German occupation. All right, we should have some new historical facts here. Oh, we actually got 5 of them to go through. So we have feeding soldiers at the front. Supplying millions of men at the front with enough food was a logistical nightmare. The diet was mainly composed of bread, rice, soup, and sometimes meat and dried vegetables. Food parcels from home were ambrosia for the troops. British soldiers had a ration of a pint of wine and a third of a pint of rum every day. One of soldiers' fatigue duties was to go behind the lines with containers to fetch their company's rations. Sometimes food did not reach the front line and infantrymen could go without food and drink for several days. Yikes. 18 months later, and over 18 months of combat, the front barely moved. It's basically a stalemate as each side dug in and tried to claw back enemies' positions. World War I, apologize for the banging. World War I is really defined by that notion of a trench on one side, trench on the other side, and then you got that no man's land right smack dab in the middle. The War of Attrition turned 1915 into the bloodiest year, and civilians became hugely affected too. By late 1915, shortfalls in human and food resources began to make themselves felt, while ammunition shortages were especially problematic. Barbed wire. Invented in 1874, barbed wire was already a common feature of trench protection in battle, but with the Great War's onus on trench warfare, it became widespread. There we go. Thousands of tons were deposited in no man's land. Both sides sought tools and strategies to overcome barbed wire, such as grappling irons and wire cutters. Intensive bombardment was deemed to be most effective method, and the tactic became widespread. Dead soldiers putrefying on barbed wire remains one of the enduring images of the war, a powerful symbol of its violence. Yikes, imagine dying by a barbed wire. Ugh. Verdun, triggered by the Germans at dawn, February 21st, in the aim of penetrating Allied lines. The battle eventually lasted 300 days. Wow. Some key positions changed hands several times before the French finally prevailed. The battle produced the highest concentration of casualties, with 600,000 killed over 61 square miles, 1 death for every 311 square yards. Yikes. And finally, military decorations. Britain had 6 war medals, the most issued of which were the British War Medal, the Victory Medal, the 1914-15 Star, and the 1914 Star. 6.6 million British War Medals were issued, 5.7 million Victory Medals, 2 million 14-15 Stars, and 365,000 1914 Stars. A combination of the Star, Victory Medal, and War Medal was fairly commonplace. Over 2.5 million trios were issued. Wow, and earned the nickname Pip, Squeak, and Wilfred after the popular cartoon characters in the Daily Mirror, a dog, a penguin, and a rabbit, respectively. Might as well take a hint off the top here, so we know we gotta find something up top in the barbed wire. Let's just work our way around. We don't have to hide from troops anymore. We can wander around like our normal selves and not have to hide in bushes. Back on the front lines. It looks like off the top, Emil wants to write something. I guess maybe he wants to get back to Anna and explain maybe what the situation is with Carl, because he's looking for a quill and some ink. It seems to be what that image represents.
Sarebico delegado a formagem.
Okay, so the first hint revealed where there's something in the barbed wire. Maybe that's the quill. I found where the ink is This guy's got some here. I guess this is like the supply room, but he wants to trade me the ink for a pair of socks. There's a stove, it looks like, that we can use here as well, so we need to keep that in mind. So that's the sock up by the barbed wire there, caught in the barbed wire. It's a pretty old and ratty sock, hopefully it'll be good enough. At the end of the day, socks are socks in these kinds of horrific trench conditions, and especially now with winter. Really? I guess it would make sense. You need 2 socks, you got 2 feet. Alright. Or maybe we have to clean said sock. Ah, okay. It would make more sense if we have to clean the sock. It might be actually a pair of socks. Yeah, it looks like it is a pair. Or it is one. I don't know. one of those 2 numbers. So we had to sneak the sock into the tub when the 2 guys weren't looking, because obviously they didn't want a dirty sock in with their dishes, with the camp's dishes. But I was able to sneak it in there, and then the guy pulled it out with the dishes, so it's on the rack there. Now we got to take it back. But from what I've already read from our 3rd hint, I took a little sneak peek. Now he's going to complain about the sock being soaking wet, of course. So what do we have to do? We got to dry it. It's a perfect way to dry it. We just pass by it. Hell nah, B, that thing is wet as heck. I get you, I get you. Gangrene is not cool. Alright, so we got the ink. A while back I also found the first collectible item here. It is a tobacco case. Tobacco case made from a shell casing. Empty munitions were often recycled. Some exploded shell materials were already aesthetically interesting, otherwise soldiers would rework their finds to create handy items. Tobacco was precious, so soldiers were eager to keep it dry. Many accounts from the trenches express soldiers' appreciation of the Christmas cigar, a special festive treat for the troops. Alright, so the sock or pair of sock scandal is over. We got the ink. But you need a quill, of course, some sort of a writing material. We already read that pens were not common yet at this point. We should be done here with the dishwashers. We've already sort of done something there. Our next hint is a little while away. Let's keep going on and see what we got.
Pas de grain pour toi, le bigorneau.
This looks like a line for rations.
What? Well, very catchy.
Haha, clever. I had the dog go ahead and steal a loose loaf there for me because this rude soldier wouldn't give me my ration. Bitch. So I'm thinking now we gotta throw the bread. No. Okay, we put the bread in the pan. Okay, that brings the bird down. No, maybe not.
Hey, what?
Okay, stop scaring the bird, Walt. Come here, Walt. Oh, and that's how you get the feather. And now we can dip the feather into the ink. We're going back to like the 1700s here, but it'll do.
My dearest daughter, I heard from Carl. His condition is stable. He is still in the prisoner camp south of Reims. I hope to finally get permission to visit him. Thank you for the photo. It means so much to me.
And not nearly quick enough. Holy shit, we are under attack. Now I'm Freddy.
On bouge pas.
Holy crap. Holy moly. Alright, let's try it again. Damn, looks like I missed a few collectibles in between here, but we have found now the officer's whistle. Officers were issued with whistles to signal the soldiers when to charge. The sound of the whistle became synonymous with a journey into the unknown when soldiers surged out of the trenches and into no man's land. Kind of what we're about to do right now after facing that bombardment. Holy Christ, that got intense. I think that's the most I've died like consecutively so far in the game. I died like 3 times there in a row. There's the couple collectibles that we seem to have missed. It looks like these troops here are following me and waiting for my command here, so without further ado, charge.
Les gars,
Alright, so we've got this medical supply bin here, and I can push it, but I can't push it any further than here. So what do I have to do? Let's... This rope here can be manipulated. Oh, there we go. Forgot I can cut with Freddy. You need some sort of an item that you can throw, and as soon as it makes contact with those unexploded shells, they will explode. It's like even in current day, they still find shells and stuff that are unexploded out in Germany and different parts throughout Europe where these battles took place, and you got to be very careful handling them because a small amount of contact and they can explode. Alright, another collectible here. Letter from a Tunisian soldier from the 21st of February 1916. Remember, we are now in 16. Dear father, dear family, I am cold. The land we are defending is frozen and covered in snow. The ground is so iced up it is harder than rock. We cannot dig. The cold is so intense that my hands are burning. I hope everything's fine back in the village and that you're still receiving half my pay. Tell me if you aren't. Ahmed. I love this being like the leader of the platoon. They're like waiting for me to do what I need to do. It looks like we're gonna need some tools here. I think ultimately this cart of shells is gonna have to ride these tracks to the right to blow up the debris that's in our way so we can continue moving to the right. Where could I find tools? I don't remember seeing tools anywhere, and it's not like I have Wald with me to maybe help dig them up or something like that, so... Oh, there we go. What is that? I don't know, but apparently it's something to help us. It's like a giant coin or some sort of a disc. It's not something that I can throw, so maybe this is what we need. Oh Jesus, I didn't even realize that. It was the fourth wheel for this cart to transport the shells. You can see it's on this rail here on this track, and I didn't even realize it was missing the wheel. That's what we were able to find. Stick it back on there. We didn't need any specific tools after all. So now I guess we just push the shells towards no. Because then we're going to be right within the blast radius and we're going to get destroyed. So here's what I think we have to do. I think we have to pull the cart up the hill so that we have a fair distance from the debris and where the explosion will take place. But the momentum of the cart going downhill will take it right to where it needs to go. Here we go. Pretty self-explanatory there, if I do say so myself. Sorry, I just realized I had to go back to grab a grenade here. Can't get hit by any machine gun fire. Can't get caught out. You gotta wait until they reload. Oh shit, some of my men died. I think I lost a couple of them. That's okay. We still got most of the unit left. Shit. So we can see another cart hanging up there in the tree, and I just got to keep weighing it down with these branches, these logs here, so that it'll fall to the ground. And I guess we're going to use that as additional cover, I guess. We'll see here in a sec. Crap, it looks like I gotta go back and grab another grenade. Damn it. All about timing with those machine guns there. It's all about timing. You have to be patient and not be too anxious to get out there. That's how you get yourself and your men killed, that's for sure. Look at me sounding like a friggin' brigadier general or something. This last grenade should get us past our last roadblock here and past the machine gunners. Ah, shoot. Ah, man, after I just preached about patience. It's okay, they're gonna start me off right here with a grenade in my hand. So for whatever reason, when it reloaded it, it's reloaded the cart, and the cart's glitched, so it won't catch any of the logs that I'm trying to throw in now to weigh it down. So I don't know if I should just get myself killed and try and reload this thing again, or I guess I'll try a few different things. This is something we haven't come across in this game quite yet. A really hard glitch like this. Okay, damn, this is ultra glitchy because this is the only machine gun firing at me. These machine guns won't fire at me at all, and an explosion just killed me. So I can't even go back any further. We may have to back out and try and reload at this point. Not something that we've had to do so far. I don't think we're going to have to go too far back from the last time it saved. But unfortunately, there's nothing I can do there. We've seen that the cart there is glitched out. The machine gunners behind us are glitched out. I can't even run back anymore to get a grenade. And I won't be able to pass by this machine gunner. He's too quick with his reload. So that's really unfortunate because I felt we had a momentum going there. But like I said, that's really been an odd timeout so far for us with this stream. It's another reason why I like to do these because, you know, as much as it is for your and my entertainment, it's just a way to not only share my games with others, but display them to others and display the goods and the bads of games so that other players who might play these games in the future won't feel so alone maybe when they experience some of these same problems because you know they're seeing acknowledgement of them out there. So you know, it's good to hold games and game companies accountable for their product for sure. I've really enjoyed this experience so far though, so I don't want to let that deter me. Hopefully when it loads back up, it's not still glitched. We'll give it a try here.
February 21st, 1916. Winter had descended on the front. After joining back up with the army, Emile and Freddie were stationed near Verdun, suffering like many others from the harsh winter.
Okay, we're starting from where Freddy took over. Again, we already have the collectibles and stuff that we've already found, so we don't have to worry about that. I know what I have to do. I promise I'll stick to my patience this time, and we'll make it through. No worries. I just need to remember when I get to that point, just keep going back and keeping a grenade on you because you need to have one going forward. And just like that, we are back to where we were. Alright, we're back with Emil. He's sort of quite far away from Freddy's position on the battlefield, and he of course is with Walt. Alright, so we got some more puzzles to get to here. You gotta remember with Emil, just like Freddy has the cutting ability, Emil has the ability to dig, which comes in handy with these dirt patches. And with Walt, I have a number of other capabilities as well. So we got a set of keys. This is good. That'll get us into the lockbox back here. I apologize for that little hiccup in the gameplay. Obviously, I can't account for every error that may occur. It didn't really set us back all that much. What was it, like another 5 minutes for me to rerun through that one part? So it's really not a biggie. Uh-oh. I think Freddy is telling us where we need to target with this gun, but first and foremost, we need to get this gun operational. I think that's sort of our main task right now. Let me try and go all the way to the right and see what we come up with. I know there's a wheel, or a cog or whatever in the tree up there. Yeah, he wants me to man the cannon. Walt can retrieve a grenade for me. I'm not sure how that's going to come in handy, but I can always use it.
Merci, Walt.
Okay, so nothing really over there. Do we have to throw the grenade up in the tree to get that thing out of there? Or is there something else? Something a little less dangerous that we can throw up there so we don't have to hurt the damn tree so much? What does this thing do? Okay, so that's going to grab something. Bring it back up. So this is going to come down the track. Stop there. We need these shells to be loaded into this gun. Okay, so that's what we're trying to do ultimately. Get these shells over here loaded into the gun. Freddy from the other side of the battlefield is calling for some support. I guess he probably knows we're over here. Remember, they're both stationed at Verdun, where we are right now. Oh, shoot. Oh, jeez, I was hoping it didn't blow up. Okay, yeah, this is... There should still be one more collectible that we can find before the end here as well. Can I push this any further? As far as it goes. Somehow move this machine so it can pick up the munitions that are there. How? Oh. What did I just do? Okay, so that's what I need to do to load it. Put it in that position with the door open. But how the hell do I move this thing?
What?
Am I missing anything back here of importance?
Hey, what?
I think I'm gonna have to use a hint here. Right, I've done that already. Something to do with these damn munitions. Freddy's probably like, where's my support? Let's pull this. Oh, I can't pull it anymore. It's can only go this way. Yeah, I can't pull it back up the hill. I would imagine it'd be super heavy anyways.
What?
How do I get that thing? Oh, I can. Oh, the grenade. I never did try to throw the grenade. Oh, that worked out well. Alright, let's try that again.
Vas-y. C'est bien, c'est bien.
I know I've emphasized the art design and the art direction as a real asset of this game multiple times already, but I'm gonna say it again. When I get stuck on a puzzle like this in the game, like I don't even feel the pressure. I don't even feel the heat because I could spend hours just running around these scenes because it's so beautiful. This game doesn't even have to have good graphics to be appealing because it's got an inspiring and engaging story, and it works. The art design just works. Okay, now we're talking. Now we use the lever. Get some ammunition. Bring it across and load it into the gun.
Hey, what?
Now, fire. Okay, we actually have to aim in the right spot here, so we have to try and remember where Freddy mentioned he wanted us to fire. And if I remember correctly, it was an area with trees. Oh, there's the transmission again. So where there's a windmill, and then the trees. So north of the trees, there's the windmill. Let's see if I can see anything else here. And there's the trees. Looked like it was east of the windmill and north of the trees. Yes, east of the windmill, north of the trees, and directly north of the trees. There's the 3 trees, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, though. Let me reconsider here. There's the windmill. No, I see a church. It's gotta be. So east of that, and then directly north of the tree. So are we talking like there? There's the windmill. Let's follow the transmission again. That's the windmill. There's only one windmill here. And then there's one particular area with 3 defined trees, which would be these trees here. So directly north from the trees, let's fire a few shells. A good thing you don't have to keep going and reloading. There we go. Hit it. Nice. I knew it was somewhere around here.
Neil's precision cannon firing enabled Freddy and his regiment to reach the rear line unharmed.
Bravo, Freddy! Bill, Thank you very much, my friend.
The military hierarchy heard of their feats in battle and decided to decorate the two friends for their bravery. Emil received good news from Anna. Karl was recovering nicely. He was even walking again. Meanwhile, the battle for Verdun only grew longer and bloodier. The death toll was staggering, 70,000 per month. Almost one Frenchman and one German every minute, and it went on for 10 months, day and night. May 8th, 1916, Emil's squad was sent on a mission to take back Fort Douaumont, a strategic point in the German defense.
Right now. Everybody, come on, come on. Hurry up. Hurry up, hurry up. Yes, sir. Come on.
All right, so we are now in Douaumont, France, and I find this interesting because we were literally just court-martialed like within the last year for desertion, which is like the worst possible scenario. We were literally sneaking around our own French corps. And now we're being hailed as heroes once again now for the second time, and we're trusted so much that they're sending us on these strategic missions to take out German defenses. So I also find it interesting how much this friendship has impacted their ability to stay alive on the battlefield. Multiple times now, Emil has come up clutch for Freddy, or Freddy has come up really clutch for Emil. So both ways it's worked out for both characters here. So let's talk about Fort Douaumont. Douaumont was one of the symbols of the Battle of Verdun and was exploited by both camps for propaganda purposes. The Germans seized the fort in February 1916 before it was seized back by the Allies in October 1916 with heavy losses. In the meantime, the fort was damaged by a huge explosion which killed almost 800 Germans inside. Rather than the work of some valiant heart, the explosion was caused by a neglected stove. The ensuing fire spread to the petrol and ammunition supplies. You can imagine how that went. And flamethrowers. Interesting, first time we've seen this. The Germans were the first to use flamethrowers in an assault on a previously held position in July of 1915. Although the attack was expected, the use of the weapon came as a surprise and caused a large number of casualties. Its psychological impact was huge, but British troops soon learned to cope with the slow-moving operatives lugging heavy equipment and did not adopt the weapon themselves. Cool, another few quick facts there, and we missed quite a few items, I think, in that last part. That might have been one of the worst parts in terms of finding collectibles, but I find in those heavy action scenes, you're more worried about staying alive because you're constantly either running away from a bombardment of shells or trying to stay covered from machine gun fire, so, you know, you're kind of being a little bit more focused on that. And we're actually going to call it for a day. I'm glad that we're able to kind of stop at an actual stop point here for this stream. We've reached Fort Douaumont. The emphasis here has still largely been on Emil and Freddy, which is alright because a couple streams before it was really Anna focused. We do have a new diary entry from Freddy. Emil saved my skin again today. What a deluge of shells. I got to write to my younger brother. He's worried about me. So for the most part, all characters are still alive and doing well. We've heard from Marie and grandson Victor. And even though things are tough in Samuel, you know, they're hanging in there, and despite the Germans taking their freaking food supplies, bastards. Karl is alive and well. Anna is keeping an eye on him at the POW camp. So across the board, we are hanging in there. At least Emil doesn't have to stay hidden anymore. He can continue to fight with valor and honor. Freddy, I have to say, has really grown in my heart as one of my favorite characters. He's just such a badass when you think about it. But Emil is a really cool dude as well. We still haven't completed Chapter 2 officially, because we still haven't seen the screen leading us into Chapter 3. There should be a title screen that says Chapter 3 once we reach it, but I imagine we're getting pretty close at this point. We should start here right away next time. We're already 5 parts through Valiant Hearts. I would say we're roughly probably at about the halfway point here. I'm surprised. I really shouldn't be. That some of the puzzles have taken as long as they have. But I'm glad. I'm glad. It's really provided a challenge, and we've gone no walkthroughs so far, which is another thing to be proud of. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, so you can follow our Valiant Heart series and many more series to come. You know, Spider-Man is going to be one of the next big ones. It's a good way to stay informed with my channel. Keep those views going. Keep those comments going down below. If you have any questions, concerns, etc., you know where to find me. And as per usual, I will see you all on the other side.